Here's what went down in Fairmont Crest on the Beyond the Gates episode that aired Thursday, August 14th, 2025. At Leslie's apartment, her phone kept ringing while she visited with Eva. Leslie decided it was either bad news or bill collectors and didn't answer. Eva was surprised that her fearless mama was scared of a phone. To prove her wrong, Leslie answered the phone, and it was a debt collector, as she predicted. The man mentioned that she owed over $10,000. Leslie hung up and suggested that Eva could ask Ted for another check. Eva made it clear she wasn't asking Ted for more money. They talked about the letter regarding an inheritance, but Leslie wasn't buying it. She didn't have anyone she could be getting money from and thought that type of thing was for spoiled little rich girls from Fairmont Crest. After Eva left, Leslie ordered food, but when she opened the door, a woman was there. "This is not happening!" Leslie gasped. The woman noted that Leslie hadn't changed a bit as she walked in. Leslie asked how she found her and wanted to know what the hell she was doing there. Noting that she knew Leslie was ignoring all the calls and letters, she called her typical Dana and said she was still her heartless, thankless daughter. Leslie's mom knew about Ted and Eva and gave her opinion on Leslie's life choices. She told her mom how everyone in town was grinding her down and shutting her out. Her mom said maybe it was a blessing that she didn't take her calls, as she needed to see her face one last time. "Baby, I'm dying," Leslie's mom told her. Leslie cried that she couldn't lose her mom now and said she needed her. Her mom told her that she didn't want to leave her alone in the world. "It's time I told you who your mother is," she said. At Kat's place, Tomas wanted to have sex again, but Kat fended him off. He offered to try other positions or anything she wanted, but she brushed him off. He got dressed to leave, but said he would figure out the right combination of things she liked, and then she would never let him walk out the door. Tomas suggested that Kat prepare to be swept off her feet. After Thomas left, Chelsea came over, and Kat told her that sex with Thomas was even worse the second time, especially since he knew that she didn't like it. Kat wondered how long it would take for him to be tired of her, so he could be with someone who knew what they wanted. Kat shared that Tama was going to find a way to drive her wild, but she worried she waited too long and she'd never feel like having sex. Tomas went to Uptown and ran into Eva. They were closed for a dance class, and Tomas told her he'd been there learning salsa. They talked about how they both get money for their families. Eva noted it was odd that he was there without Kat, and he agreed. Tomas lamented that his dancing wasn't going so well with Kat, even though he'd been doing it for years. "I've got moves that'll make you scream," he insisted. Eva told Tomas he knew how to dance. He was just scared to learn something new. Tomas was amazed that once again, Eva just got him. At the country club, Ted approached Anita and Vernon's table. He asked if they knew that he'd just received divorce papers. Vernon said it was the first they'd heard of it. "I don't know what you expect us to say. We're not the ones you should be speaking with, she is," Anita added coldly, with a nod across the room. Ted turned to see Nicole taking a seat at a table with Carlton. Anita told Ted to sit, and he obeyed. They told him that Nicole had made her decision. "Is this what you want for your legacy? 2 divorced daughters who've never—" Ted began, but Anita interrupted and finished his sentence. "Bound their lives to men who don't believe in the sanctity of marriage? Who weren't worthy of them? Is that a conversation you want to have, Ted? Because I'm available," Anita snapped. Ted looked over at Nicole and Carlton, laughing and talking. Vernon thought that was the prime moment to tell Ted that Nicole was slipping through his fingers, and there was nothing he could do about it. Vernon added that Ted put less effort into saving his marriage than into the relationship with the daughter that destroyed it. Across the room, Nicole told Carlton that Ted had just gotten served. He said he hoped he didn't have anything to do with that. "In a way you did," Nicole admitted. She said the past few months had been trying, but breakfast with him made her feel alive again. Ted interrupted and asked for time alone with his wife. Carlton went to get Nicole's and his drinks. Ted pleaded with Nicole to give their relationship a chance, but she told him their marriage ended the night of their anniversary party. "Papers just make it official," she added. Nicole said she was moving on. "With Carlton?" Ted cried. Anita wondered if they'd been too harsh, but Vernon said it wasn't severe enough. They crossed the room to Nicole's table and handed Ted his divorce papers and told him goodnight. Ted left, upset. Nicole thanked them, and Anita said she would find happiness again. Naomi got June settled into her room. June worried about meeting Tyrell and Samantha and thought she'd see it in their eyes that they were ashamed of her. June wanted to back out, thinking she'd break their hearts when they saw the skin she was in. Naomi argued that the kids asked to see her and promised that she had a plan to help. Naomi gave June a little makeover, and while she did her nails, she asked her what she remembered about the last time she saw them. June told the story about how hungry the kids were, and that Samantha had a sad, scared look on her face and called her Monster Mama, which prompted June to give the kids a chance for a better life elsewhere. Naomi noted June had been clean for months, and it had been a while since she treated herself to anything. Naomi showed June what she looked like in the mirror, confident that she wouldn't scare the kids anymore. "Now that's somebody's mother," June said happily when she saw her reflection. At Smitty and Martin's, they told their kids that they were supportive of meeting June. Samantha asked them to call them down when she arrived, and then she and Tyrell went upstairs. Smitty lamented that the kids wanted to meet June and said she had abandoned them. Smitty backtracked and said he was just stressed. He told Martin he was glad Samantha tricked them into coming over and was glad he was there, as he didn't think he would have handled the news well. Martin wondered if he hadn't been there when Naomi had come over, would Smitty still have told him? Smitty insisted he would have told Martin and noted the kids were theirs and they had full custody. Martin still felt like they could lose them. He chalked it up to losing Smitty and said he'd talk about it in therapy. "I want to be a better man than the man you married," Martin told his husband. Smitty was happy to hear that he was in therapy and noted that Martin seemed more relaxed. Smitty offered a temporary truce. Upstairs, Tyrell and Samantha compared notes on what they could remember about their mom. Tyrell felt abandoned by June, but Samantha was sympathetic to her drug addiction. When there was a knock at the door, everyone was nervous. Samantha hugged Smitty as Naomi walked in with June. It was an awkward reunion as June was corrected on the kids' names. Smitty and Martin were introduced as Dad and Pop. June nervously tried to make conversation, noting how the kids had grown and asking them about their interests. Smitty answered for Tyrell and told June about his gifts at school. Naomi gushed about Samantha's modeling. June complimented Smitty and Martin's parenting. "It was the hardest thing I've done, giving them up," June told them. She said that this was what she wanted for them, a better life. The kids scolded June for everything she didn't do for them. Tyrell angrily told her that they just wanted to feel like everything was going to be okay, but it wasn't. He was grateful to meet his dads, so they weren't stuck in the system. June apologized for hurting them. Samantha wanted to know if June ever even wondered what became of them. June shared how she'd lost everything, including the apartment, and got in more trouble with bad people as she got deeper into drugs. June pulled out the picture of the kids when they were young. "The faces are worn from me touching them all the time, but I can still see those smiles from my heart," June told them. Naomi explained how they lost the photo, but Jacob found it. Tyrell ranted at her about losing the photo, but Samantha interrupted. June told Samantha and Tyrell how she'd gotten sick, then clean, and then her memory started coming back to her. And when Naomi brought Regina, she gave her a box of things, including a letter she'd written about wanting to give the kids a better life. June told them that it did her heart good to see how they'd turned out. She said they were a good-looking group, and it would make a good family photo. "Do you think you might have room in that photo for me?" she asked tentatively. Martin said that would be something the four of them would have to discuss privately. As a family, Tyrell excused himself abruptly, but Samantha said goodbye to June before going upstairs. June thanked Martin and Smitty before leaving with Naomi. Once alone, Martin suggested that he move back home. Upstairs, Samantha and Tyrell recounted meeting the dads and how they've never felt more secure with them. "All I'm saying is that they raised us to be the type of people June needs in her life right now," Samantha told him. Later, Samantha and Tyrell came back downstairs and told their dads that they had made up their minds about whether or not they wanted to see June ever again. "Hey babes, Welcome back to Gossip Delight. It's your girl Daisy, and trust me, today's tea is scorching, steamy, and absolutely unmissable. Buckle up, because we're diving straight into the drama. Here are your spoilers for Beyond the Gates on Friday, August 15th, 2025. So many people's relationships are in tatters right now. Ted has received divorce papers from Nicole. The end of an era? Ted and Nicole were the shining example of a marriage until they weren't. Ted is now looking down the barrel of a very different life, while his partner and friend Carlton is pursuing Nicole. Andre and Danny had a heart-to-heart, and the two realized together they would be no more than friends going forward. Andre had chosen Ashley, but alas, Ashley saw Andre and Danny kissing and decided to be single, breaking Andre's heart and leaving Derek out in the cold, too. In Friday's episode, Andre and his uncle discuss their relationship woes while Vanessa helps Nicole and Danny prop each other up. Derek, in an effort to forget about Ashley, has embarked on a tall order of a task, preparing for a triathlon in just a day or two. Hitting the gym harder than ever, it's worried Jacob, his training partner and friend. But Derek knows best. This cannot end well at all. In Friday's episode, Ashley and Medison deal with a major medical crisis. The two things cannot be related, or can they? Nurse Ashley will be working closely again with Dr. Medison Montgomery, who is a neurologist. Hopefully, it's nothing too critical relating to one of our favorite Fairmont Crest residents. In the first crossover event on Beyond the Gates, Devin Winters of The Young and the Restless's Genoa City visits with Anita and Vernon Dupree to discuss music, deals, and an album. Anita turned down a recording deal for herself, but suggested that Devin work with Sharon and Tracy and re-release a song and add Barbara's vocals on in from digitized demo tapes. Devin loved the sound of, and, in Friday's episode, the Articulates are asked to plan for their future now that they've reconciled with their past. On Beyond the Gates, since the big reveal of Martin's secret, to say things have been strained at home is an understatement, but hopefully, this latest development will bring the couple together. Bombshell news was delivered to Martin and Smitty. Naomi and Jacob turned up at the house, turning everyone's worlds upside down. Through their work helping June, who had been living in a temporary shelter, Naomi and Jacob have helped her find a treasured photo and reconnect with her sister Regina. What's more, through some clever digging and some smooth cop moves from Jacob, it turns out that June had given up two children, Ron and Cecile, to a foster home, and then they were processed in a closed adoption. The bombshell came when Jacob learned that during the closed adoption, the two children were given new names, and they were adopted by none other than Martin and Smitty. Ron and Cecile are better known to Fairmont Crest as Tyrell and Samantha. Martin and Smitty chose to let their two children decide whether they wanted to meet their biological mom or not. The two went outside to make this heavy choice. Tyrell strongly opposed it, believing that if his mom didn't care, then why should he care now? Samantha was very curious about who she is and what she's like. Martin, upset, had concerns that they might want to be with their birth mother. And what if they forgot all about him? Martin can't help but feel a bit insecure right now. He's been asked to leave the family home by Smitty and hasn't had much contact with the kids. Every time he's around Smitty, it's always very tense, and there is not an ounce of forgiveness or even a hint of the love that was once felt. Tyrell and his sister returned inside, and together they said that they had chosen to want to meet their birth mom. Hopefully, this will pull the family together and make Martin and Smitty put all of the tension behind them as they stand united with Tyrell and Samantha and help guide them through this heavy situation. It's rough seeing how hurt Martin is, especially when worse has been forgiven on this show. Do you want to see Martin and Smitty reconnect here? Leave a thought or comment below. Beyond the Gate, spoilers for Friday, August 15th, reveal Dr. Medison Montgomery will have a medical crisis to deal with, and Andre Richardson will vent about his romance woes. Andre recently dumped Danny Dupree to pursue something more with Ashley Morgan. However, the good nurse refused to explore anything further with Fairmont Crest's resident playboy. This is because she caught him kissing Danny. Plus, her mom, Jan Morgan, has been relentless about how Andre will never settle down and change for her. During the BTG August 15th episode, Andre will cry about the predicament he's in, while Ted Richardson will also lament about his situation with Nicole Richardson. As fans know, Nicole finally served him divorce papers during the August 14th episode, so Ted will have relationship issues of his own to talk about. Speaking of the Dupree gals, they'll also be in a depressed mood thanks to the respective Richardson men above, and Vanessa McBride will do all she can to lighten their spirits. Across town, the Articulates will talk about the future. Beyond the Gates spoilers for August 11th remind fans that the young and the restless' Devin Hamilton Winters visited Anita Dupree at the country club and presented the idea of a record deal. Anita felt as if she didn't have the bandwidth for something like this, but suggested fellow Articulates, Sharon Winger, and Tracy Tyler, would be interested. She also promised she'd do a collaboration single with the ladies and suggested re-releasing a classic song from the group that could include Barbara's vocals from an old demo. Devin agreed to that, so Anita, Tracy, and Sharon will probably chat about the contract. BTG fans should gear up for some feel-good scenes between these ladies who have finally healed from the past. Lastly, Medison will have the help of Nurse Ashley as the two medical professionals deal with a massive crisis at the hospital. It's hard not to think that Allison may be the one they are saving, as she warned Chelsea Hamilton during the August 13th episode that she's missing at her. Could Allison attempt to unalive herself? Maybe she fakes a near-demise accident and blames her husband? Beyond the Gates spoilers hint that Allison is a tad cray-cray, with some unhinged qualities about her, so doing something drastic to get Chelsea's attention seems right up her alley. On Beyond the Gates, Leslie had a surprise visitor at the front door. But not only did she get one bombshell, but the promise of a second immediately after. Just who is Peaches, really? There's no force quite like that of a mother. The Duprees have Anita, B.T. Nisi, and now Leslie has Peaches. Peaches arrived in Fairmont Crest today and caused a stir immediately. It turned out that many of the calls trying to get a hold of Leslie lately were made at Peaches' bidding. She had hired a private investigator to track down her daughter. "That's right," I said, daughter. We guessed, and the spoilers had us awaiting today's episode with bated breath, and it didn't disappoint. Peaches didn't get much of a greeting. "Oh, my sweet baby Jesus, no," said Leslie. And after some banter that established that Leslie's mom knew her daughter all too well, she called her Dana, trouble, which kind of nailed it. It didn't take long for the banter and shock of seeing each other again after so long to subside, and the conversation turned from greeting to shock. Peaches is dying. Peaches told Leslie that she had come to say it was a blessing that Leslie hadn't taken all those calls, as she needed her to see her face one last time. Leslie was jaw-dropped. One last time? Peaches told her daughter that she was indeed dying, and that she wished she knew that was what it took to shut Leslie's mouth all those years ago. The humor was much needed. Leslie told her mom that she couldn't go, as she needed her. Peaches replied that she didn't want to leave her alone in this world, and she needed to tell Leslie who her mother was. Enter bombshell number 2. So who is Peaches? It's speculation time. What if Anita hadn't only taken Barbara's dreams, but had taken everything from her, including Vernon? Leslie is about to get a shock when Peaches divulges who she really is, Barbara Mitchell. If Peaches is Barbara, the hits will come rolling in for Anita, and we don't mean those dropped by the Articulates. Picture this. Vernon and Barbara were together, and she became pregnant, but Anita had Vernon's attention, and he left her with a child. The real reason why Barbara was cut from the Articulates by Dante Green was because she was pregnant. But this would make Leslie Vernon's daughter in the same way that Eva is Ted's and a Dupree. If this plays out, imagine the hypocrisy of the way Ted is being treated when Vernon did no different. But the best part will be when Nicole discovers that Leslie is her half-sister, like Eva is to Kat. And all of this is just soapy enough to make sense and play out just the way you read. And if so, you heard it here first. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, August 15th suggest some major moments in Fairmont Crest as the weekend hits. Andre Richardson and Ted Richardson hash out their romantic woes, while there's a massive medical crisis at the hospital, and the Articulates talk about their future. Read on to learn more about what's coming up on the CBS soap. Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, August 15th hint that Ashley Morgan and Dr. Medison Montgomery will deal with a medical crisis at the hospital. Does this mean there's one patient that needs their help or multiple? The situation sounds major. Plus, could Allison be behind this? She offered up a warning to Chelsea Hamilton during the Wednesday, August 13th episode about how much she'll miss her, so this could be a terrible stunt on her part. Across town, the Articulates will be asked to plan their future. The young and the restless Devin Hamilton Winters visited the Fairmont Crest community during the Monday, August 11th episode and presented Anita Dupree with a record deal from Winters, with co-producer rights. Anita declined, as she didn't have the bandwidth for a project like this, but did suggest her fellow Articulates, Tracy Tyler and Sharon Winger, for the deal. She also noted that she'd collaborate on the album and proposed re-releasing a classic Articulates song that had Barbara's vocals on it from an old demo. It sounds like Anita, Tracy, and Sharon will talk about the Winters deal and next steps. With that said, as they've often disagreed in the past, will they have conflicting ideas on how to move forward? Finally, Beyond the Gates, spoilers for Friday note that Andre and Ted will discuss their respective romantic issues. Andre will probably lament that Ashley is not willing to give a relationship with him a chance, while Ted will likely vent about Nicole Richardson issuing divorce papers. Can either man catch a break in the romance department? Elsewhere, Danny Dupree and Nicole will likely be grumbling about their romantic problems too. BTG spoilers imply that Vanessa McBride will do all she can to help the Dupree sisters out of their funk, but will she succeed? Next on BTG, Andre and his uncle talk about his love life. Vanessa props up Nicole and Danny. Ashley and Medison handle a medical crisis. The Articulates try to look to the future. The Beyond the Gates spoilers for Friday, August 15th, 2025, reveal the drama never ends. Andre talks to his uncle about his love life, while Vanessa helps Danny and Nicole with theirs. Andre has found himself in the middle of two smart and attractive women. He's a little mixed up about his love life. So, who better to share your relationship woes with than your uncle, Ted? The two will compare notes, especially since Ted's about to be served divorce papers. Ever the good friend, Vanessa will help Nicole and Danny. Both of them are dealing with their share of relationship problems. They should be bonding over their crumbling marriages, but that's not happening. Vanessa will encourage the sisters to prop each other up. But will it work? Ashley and Medison will have to deal with a major medical crisis. This moment could change everything for them. What's going on now? Both of them already worked too hard at the hospital. What could happen that could change their lives? We're interested in seeing how they will handle this emergency. The Articulates will be asked to plan for the future. The trio just reconciled with their past. But are they able to move on? And what are they planning now? We already know that Anita already received an intriguing offer from Devin. How will her fellow bandmates feel about this? Bryton James admitted he's ready for another trip back to Fairmont Crest. The crossover was a hit. Fans of The Young and the Restless and Beyond the Gates loved watching Devin Hamilton in Fairmont Crest. Bryton James had fun as well, even though he got first-day nerves. But he's ready for another return. James brought Devin Hamilton to Fairmont Crest for a special episode. He gave Anita an intriguing offer, the opportunity to record her own jazz album, which she would also produce. Devin exuded cool and calm confidence, but on the inside, James had butterflies, reports Soap Opera Digest. I was really nervous about not messing up, James told EW. It's kind of about representing Y&R in the best way, and being my best for Tuni and Davis. You know, being the focal points of the show. But they made me feel good. James also shared another scene with Danny. Sparks flew between them, and BTG and Y&R fans could tell that they had sizzling chemistry. Is it possible that James will return to Fairmont Crest? Absolutely, James explained. From how well the crossover went behind the scenes to the ideas that they've had for the future, I think they want to keep stuff open for there to be any potential interactions with our show and theirs. The soap actor is encouraging fans to use their voices on social media. This can help the writers develop storylines that incorporate Devin's role. If the fans enjoy the crossover and want to see more of this storyline and the little things that we dropped for the previous interaction, future interaction Let the writers know, and let the network know, because they surely listen," James added. Here are your Beyond the Gates spoilers for next week. Here's a look ahead at the episodes we'll see from Monday, August 11th to Friday, August 15th, 25. At the Hamilton mansion, Dani sits on the couch with her arm reassuringly on Bill's shoulder. Bill has learned of Haley losing their baby, and he is absolutely crushed. As Dani comforts Bill, Haley walks into the room, rubbing her eyes, looks up, and sees that Dani has her hand on her husband's shoulder. Haley's inner voice is heard saying, "We've suffered a horrible loss. I mean, what other reason would Dani be here other than to express her sympathy?" Haley will be worried that any day the other show will drop, and Bill will know the truth. But for now, can Haley stay one step ahead of her doubters? At the Fairmont Crest Country Club dining room, Vernon and Anita are sitting together enjoying a meal, when Ted walks in and informs them that Nicole has filed for divorce and that he has just received the papers. Shocking news for absolutely no one other than Ted. It was hoped that Ted and Nicole would right the ship, but from here it's not looking good. Anita tells Ted, "If you want to fix your marriage, fight for her. And quick, before Carlton gets his hooks in," and from the looks of the previous few episodes, the brother got game. Tomas takes Kat to Uptown for salsa night, and it's not going great. The two dance like a goat on a bicycle. For all of Kat's skills, learning Latin American dance isn't one of them. It looks painful, awkward, and clumsy. During a later conversation, Tomas is with Eva, and she tells him that dancing is supposed to be a vertical expression of a horizontal desire. And if that's the case, does Kat have any desire? Eva says to Tomas that learning a new dance can be scary. The two laugh, and Tomas says to Eva that it is crazy how she just gets him, to which Eva just smiles coyly. "Yeah, crazy," she says. These two have obvious chemistry that even the blind could see. This is an incredible sight to see. At the brownstone, Martin, Smitty, Tyrell, and Samantha are sitting around the table together, playing cards. They are all laughing and having fun. Smitty slams what must have been the winning hand down on the table and triumphantly cheers. The whole room is lit up with fun. But good things come to an end. Naomi and Jacob visit, and they have some unsettling news. Naomi says, "We have found Samantha and Tyrell's biological mother. This is going to rock Smitty and Martin." But how did Naomi discover this? They weren't hired or instructed to find her? So this must be a connection to something or someone else that they have been searching for. June, her sister Regina? To wrap up the next week's sneak peek, who is this visitor and blast from the past? Leslie opens the door to her apartment, and who is the slightly older lady standing in front of her? Leslie sees this woman and exclaims, "Oh, my sweet baby Jesus, no!" This cannot be good if the WMD of Fairmont Crest herself isn't happy to see her. Stay tuned, soap fans, a heck of a week ahead of us, and so many moments of intrigue. After leaving very little of the Martin Nightmare storyline remaining, the next big thing is upon us. The beloved soap icon is headed to the big screen. Beyond the Gates star, Tamara Tuni is showing soap fans once again why she is a force to be reckoned with. The actress will hit the big screen next month in a star-studded film. Tuni plays Miss Reno in the movie Looking Through Water. The trailer dropped the other day, with Tuni shining like the bright star she is, even among some of Hollywood's biggest names. Looking Through Water's the film adaptation of Bob Rich's book. Tuni is a local bar owner who has a significant impact on 3 generations of a dysfunctional family of fishermen. Tamara Tuni delivers a fantastic performance in Looking Through Water, holding the movie together as the owner of the local bar, fishing tournament organizer, and many more roles. Read the caption of an Instagram post promoting the BTG star's performance in the movie. Never fear, soap fans, because Tuni isn't leaving BTG. The movie was filmed before she began playing Anita Dupree, and we all know Tuni loves playing the character. The film sees Michael Douglas and his real-life son, Cameron Douglas, reunite on screen for the first time since 2003. They previously starred in It Runs in the Family, along with Kirk Douglas and Diana Douglas. Michael Stahl David, David Morse, Walker Scoble, and Samina Romo round out the Looking Through Water cast. Based on the trailer, the movie is a must-see, and not just because Tuni seriously shines in a role like we have never seen her before. The soap star is only in a few teased scenes in the trailer, but it's easy to see she brings something special to the movie. Soap fans can see for themselves when Looking Through Water hits theaters on September 12th. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you!